Hey guys.
What's up happening? What's happening? What's happening?
As you can see, you have joined us for our latest edition of Snack Chat.
Snack
So
chat.
we've got our snacks, all types of handy.
So before you go ahead, pause this video, get yourself a snack,
Yes.
and then come back.
Drinks, snacks, like, subscribe, and now you're ready for the video. Are we ready to talk? Are we ready to get real talk?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is real conversation. Real conversation.
Today's episode is about finances in the relationship.
Morning.
Moolah, give me the money! Like literally, give me the money.
Bring the money.
No, give me the money.
Bring the money.
You don't get it. Give me the money.
What is that? Is this?
It's not a joke. Just give me the money.
Oh.
Wow, it worked.
That's how we roll. That's how we roll over here.
And cut. All right, guys. So on today's episode of Snack Chat, we are going to be diving full force into finances in a relationship.
In a relationship, before you get married.
Before you get married,
Or
when you're married, if it's early on and you guys decided you didn't talk about this yet, or you're 10 years in and you realize, like, hey, Bob, hey, Susan, we never did this. We never did it.
We've never discussed our money.
So let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
So basically, I feel like the most important thing when you enter into a serious relationship, this isn't just like, oh, we're going to be boyfriend and girlfriend, let's divulge our finances. This is like we're engaged or we've been together for, 2, 3, 5, whatever it is.
We know
or
we're heading somewhere.
We're married,
Yep.
right? Beginning of marriage. And
Or you're about to get married.
Right.
Yeah.
And you just say, like, you just have to be transparent about it. I
Yep.
really think it's so important for both parties to be super upfront and honest about it. Like,
Yep.
this is what I make. These are all of my sources of income.
Yeah.
And this is just what I bring to the table.
It's very important, right? Because when you are transparent about your finances, it helps you.
You have
Thank
sugar
you.
on your lip.
Thank you. It helps you to avoid unnecessary pressure or demand from both parties, right? If you're telling your spouse or your partner or your husband or your wife that let's go and buy a $300,000 house or a $100,000 house, it is because you know their financial strength. You know where you are as a family financially. But if your husband doesn't have that kind of money or your wife doesn't have that kind of money or whatever it is, and then you begin to demand unnecessary long list or unnecessary, you're bringing unnecessary pressure into your marriage, which can lead to avoidable, what I personally call it avoidable pressure, in that relationship. So transparency from the beginning is so important.
Yeah.
Right? Like you and I did. You guys also need to understand that we don't talk about things we didn't do.
Yeah.
I laid it on the
If
table.
we're suggesting it's because we did it.
I laid it on the table. This is how I make money. This is where I am financially. I laid it down.
And I did the same.
And she did the same, right? And then we looked at ourselves. We'll be sincere with you guys. We both knew that we don't have money to go and start buying mansion,
Range Rovers.
or
Wagons.
money no day for that kind,
Which kind? So being upfront about that.
Yeah, but that didn't stop us from loving each other for what we have in the present.
Right.
Because I want to make this correction because I don't want people to feel like the reason why we were both comfortable is she knew I was not lazy. She knew that you saw that, okay, this guy is working. Like, even though I'm new in the country, I'm still trying to find my way, trying to build. I came into America and literally I don't have any connections, right? So I'm trying to build from scratch. I need to clarify this so that you don't go and fall victim to, the guy said he doesn't have any money, or the girl said she has nothing, right? For us, even though we were both transparent, and financially we both didn't have what it would take for us to buy our dream home or our dream cars and all that. But we saw potentials in each other, right? She sees that, okay, this guy is hardworking. He's on a mission. He's heading somewhere.
Goals.
He's heading, and I'm not a talker, right? I want to correct this so that you watch. This is part of what you watch in your partner. Pay attention to their pattern before they met you, right? So I'm not telling her that, oh, I'm going to walk her, but she's looking at the history. She's looking at my history before I met her, and she sees that, okay, this guy has been putting in work. And when you told me about what you do, she's into modeling, acting. When she was talking to me, I could hear, a backtrack of experiences. You're not just talking, right? And as a man, I'm talking to the guys now, I swallowed my pride and ego to let her know my true financial state. I'm going to give her the dream car she wants. I'm going to get her the dream house and all of that. But at the moment, I can't afford it. But I'm working towards it. And she sees it. Mm-hmm. That is part of the transparency we're talking about. I did not have to go and borrow a car to come and impress her on our first date. I did not have to go and take a loan, to go live in a house that does not belong to me, just clean the house for a little, none of those things. Because again, I really respect her and I want this to work. So that transparency level is key and important.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And I did the same thing with you.
Yep.
I laid it all out. I said, this is what I make, this is where I work, this is what I want to do, this is what I do. And then you just go from there.
And we both went from there.
Yeah.
You've never woken up and asked me to buy you something I can't afford. Mm-hmm. I've never come to you to put pressure on you, say, get me this thing that I know that, there is no pressure.
Mm-hmm. I think that kind of leads really nicely into deciding who pays for what, right? The number one topic. I feel like that's what so many people talk about is the fact is who's gonna pay for what?
So let's break it down. Who's gonna pay?
Or the lack of the conversation of who's going to pay for what.
For what?
That's what I meant.
Okay.
It's more of who's going to pay for what and having that conversation.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people get into relationships, whether you make great money, good money, in between money, not so much money, whatever it is, it's like you guys have to come together and decide, okay, well, who's going to take care of X, Y, and Z?
Yep.
Go over what X, Y, and Z is, list what those expenses look like every month.
Yep.
And then decide, is it the husband who's going to pay for it? Is it the wife who's going to pay for it? Or is it both of us
is it both of us
going to pay for it? Whatever that looks like for you guys.
No assumptions.
None.
Don't assume.
A lot of people assume.
It's crazy.
Like when I hear of reasons why people break up or divorce, and they're like, "Oh, it was financial," da da da. And I'm just like, you didn't find this out before
Don't
you
assume.
got married.
Don't assume. It's so dangerous.
But it's the topic that a lot of people stay away from. I personally hate talking about finances.
Yeah,
you know that.
I know that.
Every time we go into conversations about finances, I don't like it.
She doesn't like it, but I say no.
But I know that it's important, and I know that it has to happen. And I never say to him oh, it's not your business. I just don't like talking.
She doesn't just like talking about it, right?
I just don't like it.
But should I tell them?
Tell them what?
How you almost broke my head the first time I said let's talk about finances.
I knew it was important, but guys, it's just annoying. I feel just not talk about it, but maybe not now. So make sure that you guys do discuss it.
Yeah, so going back to
who's paying for what?
Who's paying for what? Now, if as a man your finance is good enough and strong enough and you are capable of paying for everything regarding your home, and you are sure, listen, you are sure you are not under pressure and you're trying to hide that pressure from your wife or your partner or your family, if you are 100% sure you can afford it, go for it. You handle all the bills. But if you know that after you pay all the bills, you guys or in the house, if they ask you for $1, you're going to be pissed off. I think you should sit your partner down, your wife or your husband. You should sit your wife down and have that truthful conversation. Who's paying for what? Now, regarding who's paying for what, if your wife does not work and you are the only one in charge of paying for everything, I would advise you to live within your means.
Yeah.
There is no point, you're not trying to impress anyone, right? Live within your means that you are able to pay for everything and not be under pressure. But if your wife works, which I would encourage you, let your wife work or do business. Even if they don't make as much as you, but the money they make can pay for water or can pay for groceries.
Anything.
Or anything.
Just help out.
Just encourage them to pay for it. Or now, I don't like this one. I don't like that one. Where's my snack?
I tried.
Nah. You see what I mean? Encourage them to pay for that one thing that they are paying for. Down the line, you would appreciate it. Down the line, you make your partner, your wife, understand the value, of contribution into the family. Again, like I said, if you can afford it as a man, no problem.
I think the problem.
Now, I know you want to also. Okay, go ahead.
I think the problem is that in a lot of relationships, again, going back to the roles and what's expected and what society has kind of ingrained, is that the man is, like the breadwinner.
Yep.
And, like the man takes care of everything, the woman stays at home.
Yeah.
So now, let me ask you this. I guess this question also depends on who's the breadwinner.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? So, we've been told, like, oh, it's the guy who has to pay for everything, right?
Yeah.
Or, oh, we do it 50-50 or whatever. I feel like you can't even decide who pays for what until you really have a better understanding of who's the breadwinner, who makes more, because you're not going to just say the man has to pay it all when maybe the guy makes $40,000 and the woman makes $90,000.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So I think that's like a real thing to look into too. The breadwinner.
The breadwinner. Good question. Now, I'll be very transparent with you guys because we're trying to keep it real. When we newly got married, she was earning way more than me. In fact, I couldn't walk because I was waiting to complete my work authorization at that stage. You were the only one bringing in money. And once in a while, maybe my friends give me a gift or something, I brought it to the table, right? Which was once, for that first period, it wasn't a lot. For that first period, it was not a lot, And she had to handle most of the bills within us.
All of.
Now, while I was waiting, because I need to put this there too, before they say, but Lambo said he didn't work and the wife didn't complain. But while I was waiting to get my work authorization, I was volunteering. I didn't sit at home because again, I knew that for me to quickly rise on my feet, it's not by sitting at home. I was going to schools. You remember schools were beginning to, because they found out who I was in, Lamborghini is in America. He's a prison reform advocate. Schools were inviting me to come and speak. I was volunteering. I was building my network. I was going to the prisons. I was doing my ministry, but voluntarily because I can't get paid, right? But I will say this on camera today. She did it with such grace and humility. There was never a time this woman made me feel less valued because she was the one taking care of all the bills. Not once. She never did. There was never a time that I was hungry and I need to eat food that she said, I'm tired of feeding you.
Imagine feeding this one.
There's no food and I eat a lot. This woman never complained for once. She did it with such humility. And on my own end, right, I didn't make unnecessary demands. I didn't put pressure on her. It's what is available, that I ate. But guess what? Even sometimes you even ask me, what do you want to eat? And I know that it's not because she has so much, but she did it with such grace, and I learned a valuable lesson in that chapter of our relationship. Even now that I'm working and I make money, there is humility and transparency when she wants to use my card. It's just that sometimes when she uses it today, tomorrow, I say, what's happening? So, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Like, subscribe, share. Snapchat, guys.
And if you know anybody in the relationship that needs to watch this video, send it to them right now. We are young. I feel every young person should watch this video. And even the older people that everybody should watch this video. Now, going back to the issue of who does what, do you think it's a good time for me to, because I want to address this mentality even in Africa. Mm-hmm. I've seen a lot of families suffer in Africa because African men believe their women should not work. Mm-hmm. Right? There is nothing bad in it. It is great. But this is what I will say to you. I have also seen a lot of African men, unfortunately, death took them away. And the woman and the kids begin to suffer. Mm-hmm. Because the man that is the breadwinner is no longer there. And while he was alive, never encouraged the woman into business, never encouraged her to use her certificate if she's educated, never encouraged her to do any form of, never encouraged her to become independent financially. Mm-hmm. Don't live your life as if you are in control of your destiny. Death can happen at any time. I know people don't like talking about it, but we can't run away from it. Or I've seen situations where it wasn't a death situation, but the man lost his job. Mm-hmm. Because the man lost his job, the entire family is suffering. Yeah. Guys, let me ask you a simple question. Are you marrying your woman to just lock them in the house? Most of the women you lock up in the house and call them housewives, they are the most intelligent women. They have the brain to pull in massive income to support your family. If it's there, let it be there. So that way, if anything goes wrong with you, there is a backup plan. Even if you agree as a family and say, whatever my wife makes should go to the family savings. Mm-hmm. And whatever I'm contributing still goes to the family savings, But don't make it like, what I'm even trying to say is, if you can't afford it, be transparent. Now, if both of you are making good money, encourage each other to take care of certain bills in the house.
Yeah, I mean, I really think that it's like...
you have started eating this one.
Yeah. I told you that beef jerky was so good. Take that piece.
I don't think it's too big. I want a smaller one.
But anyway, so I was saying that I think that's true. You know, I think definitely what you're saying is true, and it really just boils down to like what works for the individuals in the relationship. Like, if the guy can afford to pay for everything and the woman wants to work at home, do it. If the woman wants to work and she makes more money and the guy wants to stay at home, like, and that works for you guys, do it. But it's just.
But don't go with just society standard of I'm the man.
I have to be at home.
I have
I'm
to
the woman, or I have to be.
Don't do that to yourself.
Yeah.
Those are self-imposed pressure. Those are avoidable pressure. A lot of people, a lot of families are under depression as we speak because they did not have this simple conversation and they were not transparent with themselves.
Finances is one of the top 3 reasons why people get divorced and break up.
And break up.
So,
you know,
it's real out here, guys.
It's real. And you are not going into marriage or relationships with the intention to break up because of money. So keep it real with each other. So again, I'm using this opportunity, before we move on, I'm using this opportunity to encourage my fellow African men, or men in general.
I was gonna say, maybe men in general.
You know, if you have a woman that, like, see, imagine me telling this woman not to build herself. What makes you think you are going to be richer than your wife? What makes you think that? The woman has the same brain you have, has the same hand, leg, everything. Some women are way smarter and more intelligent than even their husbands. So what makes you feel like in their destiny, the woman's destiny, God has not destined that she's going to be so wealthy? So imagine me looking at you and subjecting you under the umbrella of my finance, not allowing you to experience your own glory. I've always said that my greatest dream is to see you become wealthy. That's why I'm encouraging you, your business, everything. Even when you wanted to get your office space, we spoke about it as a family. I told you, go ahead and get it. I wasn't comfortable initially.
He wasn't.
You know, she wanted to get an office space. I said, no.
He said, how
I said,
can we
no,
afford it?
how can we afford it? I was against it initially. But I'll tell you why I accepted that she should go for it. I told myself, I said, I'm the first person this woman opened up to about her dream. I don't want to kill her dream because I'm the husband and because I feel like I must be the one to have more money than her. So I told her, I said, see, having this office space is going to affect us, but let's go for it. If you have to sacrifice here and there to pay for your office space, we'll pay for it. And you remember I also told you, I said, if you run it for a couple of periods, and if you think the office is not doing well and we can't afford it, we'll shut it down. But then there's a big difference. The dream did not die. You gave it a trial. You know, so encourage your spouse, your wives, to go for their dream. And I'm encouraging her. Today, she launched a new company, Takara's Tiara. You know, we're in the office right now. Where's one? In fact, the office that that is the office we are right now doing this video for you guys. You know, where is it? Bring your Takara's Tiara. Let's show them. She now gets she's working with the manufacturer.
These are some of them because they're sold out. Most of them are sold out.
She's selling out too.
So we only have a few left. But yes, this is what happens when you are transparent with your spouse about your finances. You guys can talk things through. This only happened because I talked things through with Lamb about our finances, about our goals, dreams, what we want to do. And, we came together and spoke about it mutually. And that's the thing. I guess at the end of the day, if we can kind of summarize it all, it would be to be transparent. And to be transparent and to have that hard conversation that sometimes you just don't want to have.
And you must trust each other.
Yeah. So transparency. Transparency and trust are like the same thing. But I'll say this. Laying your finances out on the table, being very open, honest, and willing to have the conversation with your partner, your spouse, and understanding who the breadwinner is, knowing that it's okay, no matter if it's the girl or the guy, and knowing how to work together to make it work. You have to work together to make things work.
And if your wife is the breadwinner, my brothers,
that's okay too.
It's okay. But support them. Let them see your support in different ways.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have a job, domestically, if you're the one at home, contribute. It could be in cleaning, do something. Let your wife know that every time that floor or that kitchen or that bathroom is sparkling or the compound is clean, it's because my husband did it.
Yeah.
Do things, if it's possible, anything that will cost her more money, take that pressure off her if you can do it. That is your own way of contributing. If you are with a woman that has more money than you as a man, don't feel intimidated, brothers. Please. And women, be like my wife. Don't intimidate your husband because you are the one. Be humble. Don't be prideful. Even if you are the one bringing in the money, tomorrow he might be the one bringing the money. How will you feel?
Yeah.
If he treats you the way you are treating him because you are the one bringing the money. So it's important to balance it. You know, if your wife is bringing more money than you, look for ways to complement her efforts and support her. Be humble about it, right? And the woman be humble about it as well. See, I say this all the time. If you truly respect each other, you will treat each other with so much value and respect. The last thing you did not mention, which is important,
what?
Is discipline around money.
Yeah.
The reason why some men are not comfortable, because sometimes I'll just be in the house, I'll see Amazon box all over the place.
I hate this
When
it comes to finances. Like, leave me alone. Leave me alone.
You see, we are very real here.
Leave me alone.
We keep it real with you guys.
Leave.
So discipline.
I literally have a doormat that says, "Please hide my Amazon packages from my husband." Thank you, Danny and Erica.
But the truth is, a lot of women are not disciplined with finance. That's why their husband cannot trust them to even open up and let them know that I have $1 million.
Wait a second, did you just say?
No, I'm going somewhere. Right? And vice versa.
Okay.
A lot of women, no, of course I'm going somewhere. She's a character.
Proceed.
A lot of, wow. And also, a lot of women, wow. A lot of women cannot open up to their husbands because they will begin to make unnecessary demand. They work hard for that money. So discipline is key. When your partner watches your pattern and your discipline around money, it encourages them to continue to be transparent with you. But if your partner or your husband or your wife tells you the true figure they have because they told you the truth, and then the next thing is you want to go and buy, you want to use 80% of the money, all of a sudden you now have big dreams. You're saying, hi, honey, baby, darling, I don't like, whenever I call her darling, it's a problem. See, she started blushing. Don't begin to make unnecessary budgeting because your partner opened up to you about the true situation of the money they have. So discipline around money is what builds the trust for your partner to travel, leave you, treat the money knowing fully well that the money was really worked hard for. You know, be patient. If all you have in your account is $100,000, there is nothing in this world that should make you ever go and buy a property of $80,000. If all you have is 100,000, you should be thinking of buying something that is around 20,000 to 30,000. You have 70 for for maintenance, sustainability, continuity, and investment. So discipline is key. So I don't know, is there any other thing you want to talk about in this money? Because this is just,
I think that's it. It was like
that's
those
it.
4 points.
It was just those 4 points. Because we've been reading comments, and we just thought it was important for us to come today and keep it real with you guys.
Have that money talk.
And have that money talk.
Give me my money.
You gave it back to me. Me, I've collected it. So you missed your opportunity. You know me, if I give it to you and you don't take it, I'll take it back.
That was just from the shoe. Yeah, right. Let's get real transparent, guys.
Yeah, well, you should have kept it and test me.
Wow.
And I was going to say, if they have any questions, they can drop their questions under the comment section. What we can do is, we can look at those questions and maybe do a part 2 on this financial topic. So if you have any question, drop this question. And if you think this video was helpful, like it, share it, and subscribe to our channel. Yes, it's a food channel. We like to goof around, play a lot, but we just thought that it's important also to bring this real talk.
That's why it's called Snack Chat, because we're still incorporating food and we're chatting about life.
But this meat sweet though.
I know, it's good. Alright guys, we hope you liked this episode. Thank you so much.
Say this meat sweet though.
This meat sweet though. This meat sweet though.
It's sweet though.
Sweet though.
It's sweet. Yeah, chop small. Now small.
That was a hard piece. Bye guys.
Sometimes I have to feed her like a baby. Who's going to go and turn off the camera now?
I don't know.
Me, I'm so comfortable
I don't feel
here.
like doing it. Bye guys.
Somebody should turn off the camera from their house.
I need one of those things. Ooh, pimple.
Leave my pimple alone.
Hold on.
Today's financial talk is not medication day.
I know, I just want to see it though.
You've never just sit and leave it.
Stop it.
Today is about money. It's not healthy. It's not healthy living day.
Healthy living day? Is that what you just said? Hold on, don't move.
I shouldn't move. I have to go and turn off the camera.
I am going to turn off the camera. Wow.
I know you like it and I know you want more. So baby, come close, let me give you some more. The roof is on fire, I see smoke everywhere. So drop it down, let me put a tent. You call him Pop Smoke, but I call him Pop and Smoky.